Hello, everyone, and peace of Christ, all of you. Today, our topic is kind of interesting, and this cult is English. I mean, to talk about it and to share knowledge with people who do not know. Most of us, maybe I don't know how many, but many of us at least knew that the Hindus believe in reincarnation. And the reincarnation for the Hindus, that the one who die, he will be coming back. Either if he was a good person, he will be created as a human being. If he was a bad person, depending on who you are, like what you used to do or used to be. So the idea is that the one who did something wrong, he will be punished by recreating him in a way where it's not respected, or let us say a down creature. There's a high level creature and there's a down creature, and the idea is very simple. That's when you are created, you die, and then after you die you come back to life. It's a cycle of life, as we see in this image here. So you have birth, and then you have death, a rebirth, let us say, a death, rebirth, birth. It's a cycle. You die, you come back to life. So it doesn't matter how many times you die, still you will come back to life, but you will come something different. So depend on you who you are, what you did, and supposedly your fruits. Then you will be what supposedly the supreme power will make out of you. We will go a little bit in details in the Quran. In chapter 29, verse number 19, it says, don't they see, or see they not, how Allah produced creation, then he reproduce it? Lu Allah, for Allah, that is easy. So don't they see? I mean, how we can see that? I mean, what does that mean? Because in order to say that this is something we can see and we can witness, we have to be part of it. Otherwise, as I know, the one who died did not come back. You know what I mean? The one who died already, we did not see any of them is coming back, unless you believe in Christ. That the Christ, he died and he came back. But Christ came back, he is the same person, he is not different person. So this is resurrection. But here we are talking about the creation. And Allah is speaking about how this is his logic. Don't they see? Okay, how we can see that? And where we can see that? If we go right now and search a little bit in Google, let me do that. For the reincarnation of Hinduism. You see, I'm not a specialist in Hinduism. I don't claim knowledge of it. But I think it's not hard to understand what they believe. We will find many example of that. In the front of us here, there is there is drawing made by Hindus. Jiva, soul, birth, growth, dwindling, production. So the Hindus, they have their own belief, and the belief is very simple. Uh, if you go more in details, like and what Hinduism is about, you will find that many things in Islam is coming really from the Hinduism. The black stone, the sexual stone, the Hajj, shaving the head when you do go around the Hajj, around the Kaaba, the showing one side of your shoulder, all of those is rituals, is stolen from Hindu. But things go more far from those things. It goes even for the creation. For you used to be something and then you became something else. Let me see. I'm trying to find an image which can explain better for us this cycle of life for the Hindus. And I know that no Muslims, they will say this is not true, etc. But we will show you if this is true or not. I mean, everything here we say, it have to come with reference, not just making a statement or a blind statement. Let us see. Basic concept. You see, I'm just looking. I'm not preparing for this. I'm just looking the same. This time, this is the first time I read this statement here. I mean, this page in front of me, like you. So the basic concept of reincarnation and karma in Hinduism, in other terms, it is known as rebirth, transmigration of the soul, metaphysics, a passage from one body to another, to begin again. So what the Hindu, they believe, as you see here, that the rebirth of the soul can come back physically in many ways, which can be a human or something in the nature, or even vegetation or a tree, or an animal. So we notice here there's a lot of things we will find in the Quran coming perfectly fit with this understanding. The same as the Buddhists too, because Buddhism and Hinduism, they are, let us say, relative. So you are exist today as something, tomorrow you will be something else, depend in what you do in this life. So this life is a journey, and then your life will be taken away from you, and the supreme power will recreate you again, or let us say a rebirth of the soul will rebirth or reborn again in different body, different creature. And that is depend in what you did and what you went through during your lifetime. But what all of this have to do with Islam? Do we have any Muslim here in the chat? Well, the karma, you have your own definition for the karma. Karma is a word. It can mean something to me, it can mean something different to you. So for us as a Christian, we believe nothing of what it's Hinduism believe in. Zero. You can say, like, generally speaking, there is like supposedly being good, etc. Okay, no problem. But as a belief, we have nothing really to share, because the reincarnation in Christianity have nothing to do with the reincarnation in Hinduism. As an example, we in heaven, we will be new people. You see, we will be resurrected, but we will have a new body. But this is normal, because simply we are resurrected, which means our body already is destroyed. So God will create another creation of us, and then we will go and we will have different nature in heaven. But in Hinduism or Buddhism is different. you are the rebirth or recreation, that it's a cycle continue, never stop. You are reborn, you die, reborn, you die, reborn, you die. So this cycle is simply far away from what we believe. All right, and sometime you are a human, sometime you are a cat, sometime you are a cow, sometime you are a man. That is not what, you know, we do not believe in such a thing. Somebody saying if you kill an animal you will reincarnate as same animal and that animal will kill you. Okay, well, somebody saying that, you know, you see, my topic is not really about Hindu. My topic is about Islam. So what does this have to do with Islam? All of this, what would this have to do with Islam? Many of us, we think that Islam, as they claim, are the Abrahamic religion. And Abrahamic religion believe in what the Christian believe and what the Jews believe. But, you know, sadly, most of the Christians, they have no idea what Islam is about. As an example, if we go in the Quran, not only here in this verse, it says that Allah, He create and He create again. The Quran make it clear that when Allah, He created Adam, He created him as an inheritance, which means there is people before Adam was exist. But how that can be? Who, what people we are talking about? Let us open the verse. All right. Many verses in the Quran is speaking about the reincarnation. As an example, chapter 27, verse number 64, it says, isn't He the best who produce creation, then He reproduce? So He produce and then He reproduce. So how the produce happen and then reproduce? Let us go more deep into this topic. Then if you go in chapter 29, verse number 20, it says, Muhammad, say, Muhammad, travel in the land, see how originated the creation, then Allah bring forth later a growth. The translation is not really correct, because here it says ينشئ النشأة الأخرى. So go and see how Allah He created. Let us change the translator and you will see right away how the text change in a miraculous way, as usual. Let us see Yusuf Ali. All right. Travel in the earth and see how Allah produce a later creation. What later creation? This is in his time. Muhammad, he see what is created already. What later creation? What he's talking about? Everyone you meet around you, he was recreated. This is later creation. There's previous creation and there's a later creation. But if you think about it, if Islam is an Abrahamic religion, then God, He created only Adam and Eve, and the rest is reproduction, is not recreation. Yes, we say that God, He created us, but the fact He created only one man and one woman, and from their seeds we are. Which means the real creation is of God. He created the first, and then after that there is no creation. But here it's talking about later creation. So to understand that more, we will go to more verses. All right. Chapter 30, verse number 27, it says, He is who produce creation, then He reproduce. Again, repeating the same thing. So He is the one who produce, and by the way, here the translation again is stupid, because it says هو الذي يبدأ الخلق ثم يعيده. It is he, which means Allah, who started the creation, then he reproduced the creation. Okay, now how many times this produce is going to be? Maybe the Muslim will say to you, well, we you Christian believe that you will be resurrected. Well, this is not really what the Quran is saying here. The Quran is not saying that. How we can prove this? If you go in the Quran, in different verse, you will find the following. And this verse will make it very clear for us. Chapter 2, verse number 28. How disbelieve ye in Allah when you were dead and he gave you life to you, and then he will give you death, then life again? I mean, how clear we can make it more than this? Guys, do you see it? Guys, don't change my topic. Who is talking about honor killing now? What this have to do with my topic? Anyone will go out of my topic, I will block you. Either you are here to listen, or you are just a kid, not immature, trying to disturb our chat. Now, guys, does it say that Allah, how you disbelieve when you were dead, okay, and then he gave you life? Okay, this is the second stage. Let us say, for the sake of argument, this is the recreation after death, which means resurrection. All right. Then he will give you death. Okay, I was dead in the beginning already. Do you see it? I was dead. Then he gave me life. Then he gave me death. And then he gave me life. And then you will come back, return. It's a cycle. How clear we can make it more than this? Do you see it? How I was dead. Now for sure the Muslims, and they try to explain that, and they say, oh, you were nothing, but it doesn't say you were nothing. Oh, you were not exist. It doesn't say that. It says you were dead. There's a huge difference between you were dead and you were not exist. Do you understand? Well, isn't it, this is a reincarnation? You tell me. What do you think? I was dead. Then he gave me life, and then I die, and then he give me life, and then I go back to him to do what? To recreate me again. Isn't it obvious? And then in order to solve this problem, the Muslims, everyone, he give you his own interpretation for this verse. Because this is very funny. I mean, it doesn't make any sense unless you are a Hindu. It doesn't make any sense. Some interpretation, they say, oh, you were a sperm, but the sperm was not dead, and I wasn't a sperm. What do you mean I was a sperm? I was a sperm? Is that what you think? Allah, he created sperm? No, Allah did not create the sperm. If Allah is God, he created Adam, and he created Eve, and he gave them the ability to produce a sperm. It is Adam who is producing sperm. So until the sperm became united with the egg and fertilized the egg, there is no person. There's no person is me, and there's no person is you. So suddenly they try to say you were semen, but semen is not dead. As you see, semen is not dead. Is a living creature. Actually, it's a cell. It's a life, the same as the egg. It's not dead. Here it says it clearly, you were dead and he gave life to you, and then he will give you death, and then life again. So we start with death, but in order to be dead you have to be living before. Is that correct, guys? in order to be dead, the first death, let us focus on the first death. In order to be dead in the first time, I have to be a living being before. So here we have already, it says that you were alive, you were alive, and then you became dead. Then he gave you life, then he gave you death, then he gave you life, then you return into him. If you go to any Hindu circulation, you will see that this is what it is. If we go to different verse in the Quran, you will see. Can we see the tafsir for these verses? You can see the tafsir, but the tafsir, they don't give you any tafsir because everyone is guessing. As I say to you, you can open any tafsir you want. Every Muslim scholar trying to explain. Some they say it uses sperm, you used to be semen. You know, they are guessing. Do you see anywhere it says semen? And if you were semen, you are not dead. You know what I mean? And if you are not created yet, how you can die if you are not created yet? So here there is something missing in the story. And look, Allah is saying to who? To the people in the time of Muhammad. You need to notice here something very important. How they disbelieve. Okay, why they should not disbelieve? Why? Listen carefully. When you were dead, so those people who Muhammad he speak to them, they believe that they were dead. Here's a question: why you don't believe? You were dead. So what is the belief they believe in? Make them believe that before they became men living in the front of Muhammad, they were dead. Do you understand me? Muhammad in this verse is speaking about who? Speaking about people who live in his time. All right, saying to them, how you disbelieve? What is the logic of Muhammad? Not, I mean, you should not. I mean, are you crazy? Why you disbelieve? Don't you know? Don't you know? Don't you see? You were dead, and then he gave you life. That means those who the Muhammad he speak to, they are people who believe in what Muhammad believe. So he is using their logic. You were dead. My friend, we are not talking about Jesus being resurrected now. Just wait. Let us finish this topic. Please don't repeat your text. I can see. I'm not a blind. You know, as long as I'm not answering, it means it's not time for it yet. So the cycle of life is very obvious. You were created. Actually, if you go and ask, let us try to find a little bit more information. Hold on. From the Hindu belief. What is the stage of water in this creation? Water. Let us see if we can find all right. The first was nothing but Lord Brahman. Out of the water comes Lord Vishnu, who contains all the element of a creation. Out of what? Out of the water. All right. Lord Vishnu, he came out of the water, and this water contain all the element of a creation. If we go back in the Quran, you will find the Quran saying the following. Too many verses to show. It's endless. But you know, it's okay. In chapter 21, verse number 30, it says, "Have not those who disbelieve known that the heaven and the earth were one piece, and then we parted them, and we made every living thing of water." The first was, there was nothing but Lord Brahman. Out of the water comes Lord Vishnu. Vishnu, who contain all the element of a creation. Brahma created the word from his own body. We showed you how many verses saying that Allah is the origin of the word. Allah is the origin. Going back here, Allah created everything from water. Who is a Muslim agree with Allah that he created everything from water? Any Muslim? Because look what happened here. By agreeing that everything is created from water, that means we have to agree that everything created from water. Correct, guys? I mean, there's no exception. It says everything. It doesn't say human. It doesn't say vegetation. It doesn't say the fish. Everything. And every living thing specifically. Every living thing created from water. If we ask the Muslims, was the angels created from water? They will say no, from light. If we ask the Muslims, was the genie who live in this earth created from water? They will say no, the Quran says he created from fire. So how the Quran says every living thing created from water? Here you will see Muhammad is adopting the Hindu belief, inserting it in his book, but by doing that he got himself in the corner as usual. So you are dead, you were dead, and then Allah he recreated you, or let us say he gave you life again. Sorry, you see here, you notice here how Muhammad he is not smart even with the words, because when he said how disbelieve ye, that's mean he is confirming to them something they agree with. You know what I mean? Like it's me and you, we are debating, and you say to me, I'm hungry, and I say to you, well, how hungry you can be, and we just ate, which means something we cannot deny. Me and you, we agree upon. So how disbelieve ye, and what is the reason they cannot believe? Because you were dead. So how those people, they witness for themselves they were dead, unless they are people believe in reincarnation, that they were really dead and then they became alive again, and then you will go back to death, and then you will be given life again, and then you will return back in the original state, which was, anyone remember? Anyone remember? Water. And then Allah will give you life again. So it is a cycle of life, never stop. It is a Hindu practice, Hindu belief. And not only that, you know, when the Quran or Islam teach and say, like Muslims, they say to you, many Muslims, they say to you, let us see, let us give it a try. Who is a Muslim here would like to answer me? Who is the first creature Allah He created in the earth? Any Muslim can tell me? Any Muslim can tell me who is the first creature Allah He created according to Islam? They will say to you, Adam. They will say to you, Adam. But why they will say that? Because they are ignorant. If we go to their Islamic website, and here we go, this is Islam Web, and this is the Sheikh is answering. Islamweb.net. You know what? Let me copy this website into Google browser so I can translate into English using auto translation. You know, auto translation is not accurate, but better than nothing. So at least you can read. So this is Islamweb.net, and this is the fatwa number 93960. The numbers are in Arabic. I will click translate in the front of your eyes. I will translate to English. Life before the question, life before Adam has come down to earth, which means there was life before Adam, before he come down to earth. Question: was there before? I'm just trying to fix the translation in front of you. You know, this is Google automatic translation. Was it life before Adam has come down to earth? Which means if there was life before Adam. The answer is the following: praise be to Allah, as usual. There was inhabitants on the earth, and the life before Adam, peace be upon him, he mentioned the verses in the other people interpretation words the Almighty. Funny translation. What lips? Let me see what it says in Arabic. Hold on. Okay, yeah. So like what Allah says, Google translation. Allah He says, قالوا أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء. The chapter of Al-Baqarah, verse number 30. We will show you this verse soon. All right. So the translation of Google saying to you from the word of Allah, that's He said, are you going to create somebody who will do mischief therein and shed blood? Chapter of the cow, verse number 30. All right. So they are saying that yes, there was creatures and creation before Adam in the earth, and this is why the angels, and He said to them, you are going to create and somebody to inherit the earth. And then you will see here it says that there's angels had seen and learned that it was corrupting of the jinn, and the blood was shed in the earth. There was jinn before the creation of Adam, and corruption and bloodshed. God sent them Shaitan, and with him He sent an army, genie, and then He strike them, and they run away from Him, and they live in the mountains and in islands. So those creatures who used to live before Adam, they shed the blood and they killed, and then Allah He sent Satan with an army to attack those who did this, and He kicked them out to the islands like Hawaii as an example, or mountains like the Rocky Mountains. And by the way, this is a true story. I saw it. All right. So as you see, this is the Muslims agree that there was a creation before Adam. But where all this confusion is coming from? It must be there is something behind all this confusion, right? I mean, nothing is coming from nowhere. Always the smoke come from where? Somewhere. If you go in the Quran, you will see the following. chapter 2, verse number 30, the same verse from the cow chapter. And when the Lord says to the angels, I am going to create somebody to inherit the earth. You see, this is the translation of the Muslims. So this person, he will inherit the earth. Okay, how he will inherit if there's nobody there? No, he will inherit the people who was there. As you see, we showed you from the Islamic interpretation that there was people who they are shedding blood. It's not Adam who will shed the blood, supposedly. So there are people who they are shedding blood, and you see, the second you say blood, it's mean there was a creatures who they have a blood. I mean, is it obvious? Do you understand me? This is a chapter 2, verse number 30. In order to shed the blood of somebody, that body should have a blood. Do we agree? Does it say here the word blood? Do you see the word blood with me? Or nobody notice it? So the you know, and here, by the way, there's a problem. Why they are saying that about Adam? Because they are saying he will shed blood. Why? Because supposedly, according to Muslims, there was people before, and Allah, he sent the army of shaitan to fight them. So he's saying to them, you will repeat the same mistake. You know what I mean? Are you going to repeat the same mistake? Now, if we try to find who are those who used to live in this ground or this earth, then the story will get so funny and so complicated. I don't know if I should talk about this now or maybe in other time. What do you think, guys? Shall we continue maybe tomorrow, or we continue? You tell me. What do you think? Tomorrow? Because the story will get really complicated, and you will hear things maybe you never like. I mean, usually I don't talk about those things because there is no reason for us to talk about them. Now? Now? Okay, now. No problem. Now. I mean, what's wrong with now? Now is good. You know, I remember when I was in the Philippines, I asked a guy to clean something. Sorry, I asked him first, what's your name? He said, no, sir. I said, what's your name, man? You know, he's the maintenance guy. I asked him to, to do something. He said, no, man. No, sir. I said, what do you mean, no? What's your name? Anyway, to make the story short, I found later that his name is No Noi. So I was thinking that he is saying to me, no, sir. Yeah, like his name is No Noi. So as long as you say now, we continue with now. Before Allah created those creatures, according to the Muslims, there was a list of a creation, and this list is kind of very weird. Let us take this first. Let me find the first reference then, because there's tons of reference. All right. This is the book. It's called أخبار الزمان للمسعودي. وتبقى الأرض خرابا من العالم ثم يستأنف الله عز وجل. I will translate to you, don't worry. And then ذكر الأمم المخلوقات قبل آدم عليه السلام، ويقال أنها كانت الجملة 28 أمة. Before Adam there was a 28 nation. Before Adam. And they used to live in high mountains and high ground. And what happens simply, and here he described those people. Let's see how he described them. And their creation is different. All of it is coming from water and air. All the things Allah He created is coming from water and air and fire and ground, and it is different in the look and the creation. From them, a nation who is very long, tall, and they are very light, and they are blue with wings. When they speak, they do farqa like this. You know, they don't talk like this. How they talk. And from them, a nation who was with the body of a body like a lion, and their head like the heads of a bird, and they have hair and they have tail, and when they speak, their words is like explosion. And there is a nation have every one of them have two faces, one in the front and one in the back, and many legs, and they speak like birds. And one of them, another nation, is the jinn. And the jinn, it's a nation in the images of dogs. They have tail, and when they speak with hamhama, which means and you don't understand. And there's a nation, it looked like the nation of Adam by their mouth and their chest, but they whistle, which means when they talk, they whistle. And there is a nation which is like the nation of the snakes. They have wings and they have legs and they have tails. And there is a nation, they are half a human, they have one eye and one hand and one leg, and they jump like boing boing boing, and when they speak, kalamuhum mithlu kalamul gharariq, like birds in the sky, or the daughter of Allah. And there is وَمِنْهَا ummah, and there's a nation, they have faces like faces of a human, but they have body of a turtle, and their hands is full of nails, and their head have many horn, and their horn is long. When they speak like wolves. Ooh. And there's a nation, I mean, if I want to continue, I will stay until tomorrow. All right. And they have they have two faces. They have actually, and there's a nation, each one of them have two heads. Every head have two faces, a face of a lion, and yeah, they have two faces of a lion, and they are tall, and nobody understand their words, their language. And there's a nation, they have round face, and they have hair like white hair, and tail like lion, sorry, the tail like a cow, and I don't know what he mean here by يُزَرِّقُونَ النَّاسَ مِنْ أَفْوَاهِهِمْ. I think like they scare the people by their sound. And there is a nation, all of them, they are women. They have like the look of a woman, and they have hair, and they have a breast, and there is not even a single male between them. I want to join this nation. Please give me the address. Now, if we try to translate this into English, let us see. Where is Google Translation? All right. Maybe this is Firefox. This is why it doesn't open here. Okay, hold on. Let us do this. We have to open it in Google browser so we can translate. All right. We close this one, and we bring this one, because we want you to, you know, to see this is how it is. And by the way, this is a very Islamic library, and this is a Shia library, but this is not a Shia book. Just take a note. This is just an Islamic library. And here we go, click at translation, translate into English. And you can compare between everything I say to you and what you see here. All right. As you see here, they are God Almighty created them from different substance, the origin of water, air, fire, and earth. They are different creation, including nation, blah 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 blah. As I told you, you can read the rest. And some Muslim, they might say to you, well, why I want to take this into consideration? At least give me a scholar. He might be a big deal. Okay, what about Ibn Kathir? Forget about this guy. Can we go to Ibn Kathir? Let us go to Ibn Kathir. Let us find. Give me a second. Oh. All right, this is Ibn Kathir. You see this, my eyes hurt really from looking all day into the computer. But what we can do, we have. All right. Like if we search for what Ibn Kathir he taught, right? Look what you see in the videos. This is the Muslim video speaking about this. This is not my video. This is videos made by Muslim to prove this issue. This is the book of Al-Bidayah and An-Nihaya. If we click in it, you will see what Ibn Kathir he said. But let us, before we click in this here, maybe we can translate this part, because if you click in it, you cannot translate because this is Google book. Let me try to translate here. Translate, hold on. Translate into English. All right. This is the Ibn Kathir, Al-Bidayah and An-Nihaya. Ibn Kathir, as you see. All right. It says here, there was many creations, and he is counting two creations specifically. There's one, his name is Jinn, and there's one, his name is Bin. Bin. Don't ask me. And Bin. So he created the jinn before Adam, peace be upon him. And then there was other creatures who exist at that time, not only those jinn. There is a creatures, they are called al-hin wal-bin. Here the translation is coming funny. It says a ground robin, but it doesn't say that really. It says al-hin. Al-hinnu wal-bin. The translation here for the word coffee, because this is what the word bin or bun mean in Arabic, mean coffee, but it's not really the word coffee. So there is a creatures who they are called al-hin, and there is a creatures who they are called al-bin, and there is a creatures who they are called al-jinn. And this is Ibn Kathir. This is Ibn Kathir. This is not me speaking. All right. And here we go. If we click at the book, this is Ibn Kathir, and this is volume number 1. Let us zoom in a little bit for those who wanna, from the Muslims, maybe they will say this is not true, cannot be true, whatever. The chapter of a creating of a genie and the creating of shaitan. Volume number 1, volume number 1, hadith number 58, as it shows here in the screen. All right, and then the same 159. Here we go. I will read for the Muslims if there's anyone who speak Arabic. خلقت الجن قبل آدم. Let us make it more smaller text. We need to zoom more. The problem when you zoom in, this page go wrong. We cannot zoom more. Yeah, we can zoom more actually. All right. So you will see here it says خلقت الجن قبل آدم. The jinn were created before Adam, peace upon him. And before them in the earth there was al-hin and al-bin. فَسَلَّطَ اللَّهُ الْجِنَّ عَلَيْهِمْ فَقَتُلُوهُمْ. And Allah, He ordered the genie to go after them, and they killed them. And they kicked them out, and they killed a lot of them. And then after that, they did live like those who survived from this war. They live where? وَسَكَنُوا بعدهم. So then the people, they came and live after them here. All right. And then here actually Ibn Kathir is saying that there was a tribe of the angels, tribes of the angels, they've been called al-jinn, and because they touch genie and مسوا الجن and مسوا الجن لأنهم خزانوا الجنة, and they touched the genie because they were the one who store in the Jannah, in the heaven of Allah. I mean, it's a stupid story. And here Ibn Abbas is saying different story, and I mean it's really crazy stuff. Let us see here what it says. Yeah, but as you see, this is Ibn Kathir. This is not just anyone. Ibn Kathir, he confirmed that there was a creatures exist before Adam, people, and those people, Allah, He waged war against them because they shed blood. But the question, blood of who? You see, we are going back to zero, because those creatures who the Muslims, they give them very funny look and description. They shed blood, but shouldn't we ask the blood of who? If we ask Muslims, do genie have a blood? They will say no. Okay. So who are they? Those who their blood being shed by those creatures. And this is why Muhammad, he speak about that. Don't you see that you were dead? Because those creatures, they killed you. You were dead. And then He gave life to you. And then He make you dead. And He gave life to you. And then He make you dead. And then He make life to you. And then He, at the end, you will return to Him after all the cycle of life will be finished. Now, if we try to understand those creatures who the Muslims, they try to present them to us. Let me see if I can find you something, because the list is bigger than what we just mentioned. And let us see. You see, I chose the wrong topic in the late. It's already 12. Okay, look what we found here. This is Muslim website trying to explain to the Muslims what was exist and what Allah is teaching. The title. Let me actually translate to English so you can read with me. There was creatures before man. What their name? Read carefully with me. I'm not the one who's saying that. So don't say Christian Prince is saying that. This is not me. This is you Muslims. All right. Who are those creatures? The creatures are as the following. Al-Hin. The translation here is false. Al-Hin. It's not coffee. And Al-Bin. Al-Bin, not coffee. And then Al-Min, not not kin. Okay, al-hin wal-bin wal-khin. Actually here the khin. So here we have to add the letter khay, letter H. That will make it khin. And then al-min. And then ad-din. You see the translation is very. Let me type it for you on the screen. Hold on, give me a second. Because this Google translation is messing things up. Okay. All right. There's the jinn, and there's the bin, and there's the hin, and there's the khin, and there's the min, and there's the din, and there is the nis. And this is their pictures according to the Muslims' imagination. The bin, you see the translation is coming as the coffee, which is false. This is their look. Those are the bin. Those are the people of bin, not Mr. Bean. This is different family. All right. And then we have after the coffee, or Mr. Ben, sorry, we have al-hin. Those are al-hin. They have, like, if you watch the Pirate of the Caribbean, he have roots coming from his head, and he have you know, his hands like roots, you know, like tree. And you will notice here they are adopting something written in a weird language. All right, this is actually is coming from the old ancient you know, script. This is nothing new. This is not Muhammad creation. This is what they believe. And then after al-hin, as you see, this is how they look like. Then we have al-khin, khin, not khan, khin. And this is how al-khin look like, according to them, not according to me. I don't believe in this madness anyway. All right. So this is Mr. Khin, and this is how his people look like. All of them, they look like this. You see, al-khin. And then we have after that al-min. Men, not mena, men. And this is how men look like. And each picture here present a nation. This is not one person. All right. This is how the people look like. And you will notice here, this is the old ancient Arabic. Let us say, since the beginning of Islam, this is why you see the way it's written, and you will think yourself you are reading maybe like a kind of a Buddhist or a Hindu Indian language, isn't it? But right away you will see here the word Allah. I don't know if you can see it with me. Right? So this is al-hin. Sorry, this is al-min, and this is how Mr. al-min and his family and his people look like. And they are a great nation. They are not like a small, tiny nation. And what else? And then al-din. How al-din look like? Let us see. Interesting. Are you guys enjoying the class? Here we go. You forced me to talk about it today. Look now. Let's see how you will sleep. This is al-din. Those are a nation. You see, remember we showed you the book. It says they are a 28 nation, and here they are counting some of them. And this is what the Muslims believe. Now, I'm sure many of the Muslims, they never heard this before. But I mean, I never heard of a Muslim actually he heard anything before. So this creature in front of us, he is from the nation of ad-din. Then there is the last one. There, I could not find a picture for his nation. It's called An-Nis. An-Nis. And they say, you see, An-Nis. Look at this. An-Nis. What does that mean? Let us go. The Muslim believe that An-Nis is the original creatures of a human being. The ancestor of a man. Do you see even the translation of Google is showing you that the Muslim believe that this is the Nis is the ancestor. That explain where is the word Nas is coming from in the Quran. If you go in the Quran, you will find it says the following: An-Nas. And just to show you more fiction, say, I seek refuge in the Lord of the Nas, or An-Nas, the king of An-Nas, the God of the Nas, from the evil who whisper, the whisperer who sneak and whisper. He whisper in the heart of mankind, of jinn and mankind. This is the Muslim translation, not me, but in Arabic it says An-Nas. So the ancestor of a human being, he was from a kind, it's called An-Nas. And then An-Nas became Nas. Now, I'm sure that you guys, first time I hear a story about a story, well, and I mean, you see, always there is a reason for me to mention a story. If there is no reason, I don't mention it. I got a text from an email from somebody speaking about some people believe they claim that the Christians, they are copying from the Hindus, etc. So I said, okay, as long as you are saying that, let us go and see. You know what I mean? It was just to respond to what they say, because the fact it is them who believe that you were dead. Now, how many of you took notes that you were dead and he made you alive again and again and again and again? How many of you took a note? Which verse, which chapter this chapter is? Anyone remember? Which chapter this one, which it says that why you disbelieve when Allah he made you dead, you were dead and he gave you life, and you were, and then he gave you dead and he make you alive. Anyone remember? This is chapter 2, verse number 28. I will show them both in one image. Chapter 2. All right, let us zoom in. Verse number 28. Now, again, remember this verse is a clear evidence of the core belief of Hinduism and Islam. Islam is based in Hinduism. Because Muhammad is speaking to people who they are alive in his time, claiming that they were dead. And then he made them alive. And then he made them dead. And then he made them alive. The same people. How they were dead? In order to say that to me, you have to believe, and I have to believe, in order to agree with you, that I believe I was dead. That's mean I was alive before. And then you give me life. This is exactly what Hinduism believe, reincarnation. You are created from water, as the Quran said. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. and we created from water every living thing. Every living thing. And this is exactly what Hinduism believe, that the source of water, the source of life, is Lord Vishnu, who is of the water, and he have all the element of life. From the water, every living thing was created. Why you don't believe? And here again, in order to believe in such a thing, I have to agree with you, to say to me, don't you see? Don't they know? Guys, do you see here it says, maybe many of us don't notice that there is something is not right in this verse, because he's saying to them, don't they know? So this is not a new discovery. This is a belief they believe in. You know what I mean? It's not something they will find out, like Muslim, they say to you, this is the Big Bang and that's fiction. It doesn't say that. He says, don't they know? It is something they know, and something they believe, and something they agree. You understand me? Because when I say, don't you know, it's mean we both know. It is something known. It's not something will happen in the future or something happened in the past to the point nobody saw it. Don't they know? And actually the translation here is not accurate. It says, don't they see? In Arabic it says alam yara. If you change the translator, look, just to show you how the fiction of the translation in Islam work. If I choose any translation, anything, you know, it says, don't they see? Translating here, don't they know? But it doesn't say that. Change the translator again. I will show you what translation I'm choosing. Those are not my translation. This is Muslim translation. Ahmad Ali. Let's see Ahmad Ali. Yeah, see here the translation is coming more accurate. It says, don't the unbelievers see? It is something they witness. How you can witness it unless you will exist, and then you die, and you will exist, and then you give your life again, as it says in the other verse. You know what I mean? So they will exist from the beginning. And don't you see? That's mean they witness everything. But did the man witness the earth and the heaven used to be together? So either Muhammad is speaking about scientifically or believe that the earth and the heaven they separated, and Allah he left up the sky, and that's what he's saying, or he is saying they were there and they witness. And when he say, don't they see that Allah he made from the water every living thing? And then again, this is a very stupid statement, because the Quran says that Allah he created the genie from fire, and the angels are created from light. So how every living thing is created from water? So Muhammad he adopted the Hindu belief about the water thing, but by adopting that adoption, he got himself busted by saying that the genie are created from fire. And this is supposedly was the reason Shaitan refused to bow down to Adam. Read it. This is the reason. Shaitan is saying to Adam, you want me to bow down to Adam, and he is created from mud, and I'm created from fire? Do you see it? This is the reason Satan he refused to bow down to Adam, because Adam is created from mud, which means the same as the Hindus believe. The element, the water is everything, and the element is inside it. So there is mud, there is water and sand. We mix them together, we make mud. And Shaitan, he is not made from mud, neither from water. He is from fire. And fire is far away to say that fire is water. right? Don't say Hindu are bad. Why you are saying Hindus are bad? Hindu are people like us. There's nothing is called, you see, there's a bad, everybody will be judged by his fruits. There's Hindu people who they are wonderful, and there's bad people. Same as the Christians, there is many they claim to be Christian, but they are criminals. They wear a cross, but they shoot people. They wear a cross, but they are drug. So I don't like stupid statement in the chat. Be aware of your words, otherwise I will block you. Now, as you see here, I think there's somebody here is seeking to be here we go, we block this person. Okay, so all the verses, they point to one thing. Allah, he created the creation, and he recreate. Look how many verses we showed you. He reproduce, and that explain the verse where that you were dead and he gave you life, and then you die, and then he give you life. But how many times we die and how many times we live? That is a very Hindu belief. And the verses like this is all over the Quran. Chapter 29, verse number 20. He will create another creation. So you create you, and he will create another creation of you. Of who? Of you. All those verses, as you see, we showed you tons of them. So I hope that we did explain or we gave some explanation for what the Muslims really believe, you know. But remember, Muslims, most of them, they don't even know what they believe in. Muslims are people who, I heard, he said, she said. I never saw a Muslim he knew. Actually, until now, I ask a Muslim who's Allah, they can't even say to me what Allah. What the word Allah mean, they do not know. What the word Isa mean, they do not know. What the word Maryam mean, they don't know. What the word Abraham mean, they don't know. They don't know. They don't know. And then we end with this: jinn and bin and men and madness. This is what they believe in. If you go right now and search, you will find that they believe that even genie, they can have sex with their women. Islam is nothing but a collection of legends and fiction stories. I mean, look at this. This is a female, supposedly. But by the way, she looked good. You know, we have to be honest here. I mean, she looked really nice. And what this guy is holding, what he's doing, I mean, somehow like I don't know, I thought he's a cousin or something. What this guy, what is this? What is that? So, and the funny, the one who bought those pictures, by the way, I'm not saying that those are, I showed you the Muslim website who is posting those pictures in their website. You see, I showed you this website, if you remember, right, in Arabic. This is a Muslim website. This is not my website. They are posting those things here. And here we go. Who are they? The hen and the bin and khin and min and din and sin, which they live before a human being. And here you get all the explanation and all the pictures. This is not my website. I have nothing to do with it. Because you know, Muslim, they will say to you, well, don't believe him. I'm just showing you what they believe. All right. And here, by the way, look like this is a government or something have to do with Morocco. So this is a Moroccan website. You see here the picture of the king. The picture of the king. The king of Morocco. So if until now you are not convinced that Islam is a collection of fictions, well, then you have to explain why Islam cannot explain Islam. Why, when we say like, okay, Allah, he will create somebody to inherit the earth, why the Muslims, why Ibn Kathir, who is a big scholar, says that there was a group of nation, they lived before Adam and the people in the earth, and Allah, he sent an army. Why they believe in this stuff? Why we find those stories all over their books? Where is the confusion coming from? And the funny, the Quran says, link for what? For that website? I just close it. But anyway, let me, I can open it for you, no problem. It's called Al-Hiba, something like that. Give me a second. Now you remember to give you the website after I close it. Okay, hold on. I can go back to the history and check it out. Just wait. I think I can find it in this way. History. When I go to history, it takes me to images. Let us see this. Maybe this one. This is a different one, but here we go. We found it for you. Thank God. This is the link. All right. Are we good? Did you see it, my friend? The link you asked for? Did you get it? All right. Now I hope that you will not see bad dreams after we showed you those images, which is very interesting. But you know, the more we learn about this religion, or if we can call it religion, the more we notice how much stories. This is why you see the Quran. What the Arab said to Muhammad, they said to him many times, this is nothing but fairy tales of the old people. Look, all those verses saying that. All those, you know, they say those are the tales. Those are nothing but tales. They are not really from God. What are you talking about? Look, this is the fairy tales. You see, the Arab at that time, they said that to him. They did not say we don't, you know. So at that time, there was a smart Arab, educated Arab who don't believe in those stories, and they told Muhammad, this is nothing but the fairy tales of the ancient. We heard those before. You see, this is nothing but the fabulous of old days. So maybe Muhammad, he is the same as many Arab believe, but there's many of the Arab, they don't believe in this too. Now I made it this late so people who are in Indonesia, they can join us, and those who live in certain area, they can be with us early in the morning. So I want to say thank you very much for being here. May the Lord bless you, and I hope we learn something new. How many of you heard something new today? Did we? I hope so. You know, but every time we go live on air, we know we speak about something new, and it doesn't matter how many times we repeat a story. But you see, like the problem is, you have always to give me a reason to tell you something extra. Why? Because usually I focus on things which is, let us say, the fastest, easiest way to prove Islam to be stupid. Those things, they take too much work and too much research, and I have to translate from Arabic because there's no translation for them in English, and I have to use the stupid Google translation, which is very funny. So usually we avoid talking about those stuff, but you have to give me a reason, and if you give me a reason, you will get the answer. So I want to say thank you guys for being here. May the Lord bless you, and until we see you again, I wish you a very good Sunday. Don't forget to pray for all those who need your prayer. Pray for the sick, pray for the poor, especially the sick and the poor, those that need the Lord's support. Pray for those who they are hungry. Pray for the children who they are, you know, they don't have family, the orphan. Pray for everybody who is suffering in this earth. This is the earth of suffering. And having Christian-like people, we make life better. We make it less suffering. We will not stop the suffering. We cannot, but we can make life better. So pray and do the work. Not only pray and do the work. Those who pray without work, they are not Christians. Right? If you know somebody is hungry and he needs a sandwich, don't pray that God will send him a sandwich. This is not what God taught you. If you know somebody is old and he needs your help, don't pray that God will send somebody to help. You do the help. You know that this person needs help. Do what you need to do, so that will be done to you, my friend. That will be done to you. The one who is good with his parents, his children will be good with him. Imagine if you are a very bad person with his parents, and then one day you say to your son, "Is that what you do to your dad or your mom?" He will say, "Dad, do you remember what you did to your dad too? Do you remember?" You know what I mean? Do you remember what you did to your dad? So why you want me to be good to you? Be Christian, be loving, be useful, be the fruit of the Lord, and pray for those who curse you. Pray for those who hate you. For that will clean your heart and will make you live longer and happier. Hate will destroy us. Anger will make us like glass with a lot of cracks, you know. Hate and anger and hate go inside those cracks and make them bigger and bigger and bigger until one day I will crush. My hate will kill me. Live, my friend, and be happy, for you are a child of God. When you pray the Messiah, our Lord, he says you pray like this: say our Father, not our God, even though he's our God. Imagine me and you, we call the Messiah by saying the Messiah. We don't even say his Almighty. We don't say even like the Muslim, they say when they say Muhammad sallallahu alayhi was, we say just the Messiah. We say Yeshua. Can you imagine how humble he is? We are talking to the living God and we call him Yeshua. We call him by his name. This is how humble he is. You go to your boss, you call him sir. You see a police officer, you call him sir. You speak to the Lord, the Messiah, the one who created us. We call him, we say Messiah. We say Yeshua. This is how humble he is. This is why he washed our feet, so he can be the best example for those who want to follow him. Never be proud except about doing good. But even don't talk about it. The Lord, he says, if you give with the right hand, don't let the left hand know. Be proud, for you are following Christ inside your heart, but don't be proud talking about it. For those who they speak about what they do, they got their reward of this earth. But the Lord, our Father, the Messiah, the Holy Spirit is always with us, and they see what we do. You do not need witnesses. They are always there. Every two of you mention my name, I will be between them. And yet they say to you how Jesus says he is God, worship me. The Messiah, my friend, is the walking, talking, living word of God. He is with us every second, every moment, and we are not people who believe in fictions and fairy tale stories. Our God is real, and he is coming back. And actually, he never left us. He says, I will leave you, but I will never leave you alone. So pray in this coming Sunday, and if you are already in Sunday, pray for those who need your prayer. Pray for the whole world. Pray for the sick. Pray for the old. Pray for yourself to be guided and not to be fooled, not to be proud about things you don't own. Don't be proud about life you have because you think you will live forever. Yesterday you were a child, tomorrow you will be dead. The Messiah, he said, let the dead bury the dead. Let the dead bury the dead, because all of us, we are dead already. It's just a matter of time. All of us, we will be a collection of bones. You like it, you don't. So let your bones live forever as a creature, a new creature with God. Whoever believe in me and I will live. And our God, because he's a true God, he do not need to tempt us to promise us virgins and boys and silver and gold in his heaven, for that is not the heaven of God. This is the heaven of the devil, who tried to tempt you. He tried to tempt your pocket. He tried to tempt you from your waist and down, your private part. For all of it is about temptation. While God is fighting temptation with us, helping us, supporting us, Islam God is encouraging you to be tempted. Temptation is the way of life in Islam. In Christianity is holiness. And this is why we are Christians. Thank you for being here. May the Lord bless you. And until we see you soon again, Christ is Lord, Islam is false. And don't forget to subscribe. And if you don't like my videos, please unsubscribe. I do my work for the Lord, not for you. Christ is Lord. I mean to that. And happy Sunday. God bless.